Hello and welcome to the presentation of FBF 365. Um, so first up, it was obviously Gavin here. Just thought I'd talk you through some of the results that we've seen at the Fit Body Farm in the last kind of 5.5 years. So Fiona here lost 2 stone in 2014, another 2 stone in 2015, and for her now exercise and eating well is just part of who she is. Neil realised he was slowly committing suicide, so he took control and has now lost 50 pounds. Susan told me that FBF lit a spark under her and her family, and you can see the results she's had, and she's still going strong. Meathan told me that he had no health issues. Sorry, that he had health issues, no motivation, and actually quit the gym after just one day. Then he joined FBF, and this happened, which is pretty cool. Lauren told me that she never found a way to keep the weight off until she found Fit Body Farm. Derek, he said he was heavier than he'd ever been and felt frustrated, and now he's completely transformed his body and is buzzing with energy. Tracy says she used to stress about how to dress to hide her bellies, and now she's bought her first pair of skinny jeans. Andy, he told me he used to undo his belt and his jeans to sit comfortably, and now he's lost over 4 stone and is loving his new 36-inch waist. Natalie, she admitted that she felt anxious, tearful, and used to hide in her car to eat. Then she took control and she steered herself into a size 10. Fantastic. Danny ditched the I'm too old excuse and then ditched 44 pounds. Good man. Rona used to hide under her clothes. Then she lost 7 inches of padding from her waist at Fit Body Farm. Kirsty lost 3 clothes sizes and 4 stones whilst running her business. Very busy person, Kirsty is. Mother of 3 Susan now wears a bikini on holiday. Brilliant. Looking good. And Yummy Mummy Marlies is enjoying the energy boost that Fit Body Farm has given her. So, a little bit about me, first of all, because maybe you're listening to this and you don't actually know who is Gavin Hogarth. Okay, so very briefly, started Fit Body Farm 5.5 years ago, and in that time coached over 1,000 clients, and you've seen a few of the stories and the transformations we created over that time. On a more personal level, I got married this year, and I just got back from my honeymoon in Vietnam, which is a brilliant place, by the way. I'd definitely recommend Vietnam if you fancy sampling some Asian culture. Personally, what motivates me right now is obstacle course racing. So that's kind of my main sport that I'm into at the moment. So likes of Tough Mudder and lots of other events as well. So that's what I'm choosing to compete at. Now on to frustrations and fears. Okay, I'll explain a little bit more about this and why I'm talking about frustrations. Frustrations are usually things that are happening to you right now. Okay, so current frustration, and I'm talking more around how you feel about your eating habits, your exercise habits, your life. So my biggest frustration I say right now is when it comes to food is binge eating. Okay, when food is in front of me, so having a bit of a lack of control that's been a long term issue for me, if you like, and often means that I eat far more than I need to. My biggest fear. So by fear, this is something which it may not happen, but often fear can hold us back from doing what we know we need to do. My biggest fear is actually staying fit and healthy whilst having a family. Okay, so obviously just got married, so family would be the logical next step for us. But I see a lot of people who come to the farm and they've got families, and I wonder how do they do it when they're so busy? Okay, how do they stay fit and healthy whilst having 2, 3, 4, 5 children? Okay, so that's probably a bit of a fear apprehension that I've got. So getting to know and understand you, have a little bit of a think right now. What's your current frustration? Ultimately, what is it that's making you want to make a change? Okay, or what's your perceived fear? Okay, so what fear is it, or fears that's held you back in the past from actually making a change? Okay, common ones might be I'm worried about being the least fit. I need to get fit before I start. Um, I'm worried that the diet will be too hard. I think I need to be on it 100% or not at all. So I'm worried about not being able to. I'm worried about not being able to be consistent. Okay, and then also think about what do you need help with as well. And if you want to hit me up with a wee email with answers to these questions, then it'd be great to hear them. Okay, it lets me understand you a little bit more. So in terms of frustrations, these may be some of the things that you experience. Okay, if I was standing in front of a group right now, I'd be asking you to stick your hand up if any of these sound familiar. So you can imagine sticking your hand up when I put something up on the screen here which sounds familiar, and I'll do the same. Okay, so only being able to stick to a plan at a certain time of year or when the time is right, which is nearly never. Feeling like you've been on diets for years, yet you're heavier than when you first started. Your willpower caving, so you get angry at yourself. That I would stick my hand up at that one. Self-sabotage, when life struggles happen. I'd probably also stick my hand up at that one too, because I tend to eat out of stress quite a lot. Feeling guilty when you eat something you promised yourself you wouldn't eat. That's a definite one for me. Okay, I tell myself you don't need it. Like you felt like rubbish the last time you ate or overate on that food. But yeah, you still do it. Or I still do it. Okay, so that's one I'd stick my hand up at. What about these? Being confused by different diets and advice, so much so that you actually feel like food is becoming an obsession rather than enjoyment. And I'd say partly that's been for me as well, been the case. There's so much information out there, and even as a coach, you tend to kind of listen to different things, get confused a little bit, conflicting information, and eating doesn't become as much fun anymore because you're always thinking about it. Feeling like your eating is out of control at times. Yeah, I would definitely resonate with that. Knowing that good nutrition is key to long-term results, but you feel overwhelmed by how many changes you need to make. And this often leads to you only just focusing on exercise and then going on short-term diets for events like a holiday or a wedding, after which you lose your weight and the weight creeps back on again, plus a little extra. Okay, so my assumption is that if you're listening to this, one of those things at least resonates with you. Okay, if it does, then keep listening, and we'll start talking about solutions as well. All right. This question, are you happy? This is something that I've always kind of gone back to since I first kind of had it asked to me over 5 years ago. And anytime I feel myself complaining or moaning or thinking about something which is annoying me or frustrating me, ask myself, well, am I happy? All right. And if the answer is yes, then keep doing whatever you're doing. But if the answer is no, then you have to ask yourself, when it comes to your health, your fitness, your energy levels, your body shape, do you want to be happy? All right. If the answer is no, you don't want to be happy, then obviously keep doing whatever you're doing, because that's going to keep you there. If you do want to be happy, then you need to change something. And then this is the whole outcome of this is if nothing changes, nothing changes. Very simple. All right. Taking this a little bit further, there is a problem though, okay? Because you may be at the point where you want to make a change. Okay, you've bottomed out. You've said to yourself, enough's enough. All right. So you're ready to make a change, but then there's a number of problems which I often see occur. So problem one, okay, you want to feel better yesterday. Okay, so you want to get as far away from your point of pain as you can as quickly as possible. And that's kind of human nature, but then what that can lead to is kind of more extreme behaviors. Okay, doing diets or programs which are all about speed. Okay, but not sustainability, like a 7-day juice fast, for example. Second problem, you see adverts like this and you think your actions need to be perfect or there's no point. Okay, so here it says fitness is not 40% gym, 6% diet. It's 100% dedication to the gym and your diet. Okay, not many people, 0.001% of people give 100% dedication to the gym and your diet. Okay, so this is really for you know a very very small number of people that could actually do that. Okay, but because we see things like this, it makes us think that all right, I'm going to have to be 100% perfect, or there's no point. Okay, so that creates a scenario where you're either on the wagon, off the wagon. All right, and you go through this vicious cycle. Okay, so adverts like that probably don't do you any favors. Problem three. When you decide to make a change, you expect hardship. You expect it to be difficult. You expect to rely on willpower. Okay, so you expect it to be a willpower war. Okay, so you only do it when the time is right or when you feel motivated. All right. So again, you could be on it or off it, depending on how you feel, depending on how your willpower is. Problem four. See this one a lot. Okay, so using diet and exercise only when you need fixed. Okay, so cracks begin to appear in your life and how you feel. Again, you hit the point where you say, okay, enough's enough, and you grab diet and exercise off the shelf, if you like. Okay, and you use diet and exercise to fix other things going on in your life, make you feel better. All right, and then what often happens is you start to feel better, you start to look better, and at that point, you can become a little bit complacent, if you like, and then life takes over. Another event happens in your life, and all of a sudden you've not got enough time. Okay, so diet and exercise goes back on the shelf. Okay, until you need it again to fix your problems. Whereas really diet and exercise, or healthy diet and exercise, ideally is the foundation. Okay, it's the thing that you do automatically, regardless of what's going on in your life. But for a lot of people, they're not there. Okay. Problem five: too much information and advice. Okay, so do you go for paleo? Do you do a juice detox? Do low carb? Do you make sure you're always eating organic? Intermittent fasting? Quitting sugar? There's so many um, programs out there, so many options, so many terms that are used, that you end up often jumping from one to the other, trying a bit of everything. And all that advice can come from too many people as well. Often people who have never coached anybody, don't really have any qualifications or experience, but they're very quick to weigh in with what they believe you should be doing. So you get too many voices in your head, and often that leads to you doing nothing or trying a bit of everything because there's always another thing to try. Number six, when you decide to make a change, you may look at your life and think, oh, your eating habits, your exercise habits, and think there's too many changes to make. Okay, where to start? And that can often equal overwhelm because you feel you need to do everything. Okay, and you may just smile to hide how completely overwhelmed you are. Okay, and pretend that everything's okay. The seventh and final problem, because you've got so many changes you feel need to make and you want to get results as fast as possible, you choose to change more than one thing at a time. Okay, and you may have heard this term before. If you chase two rabbits, okay, you will lose them both. Okay? If you chase one rabbit at a time, focus on one thing at a time, then you're far more likely to catch it and make that habit stick. All right. Now, all of these problems result in our current reality that we face. Okay, so here's the reality. If 100 people hit their target weight, then met up 1 year later, how many will have maintained their results? Have a little think about that just now. The answer is shockingly only 4 people out of 100, okay, will maintain the results beyond a year. The rest will have regained all the weight, or back to where they started, or be heavier than before they started. So that's right, yep. If you adopt a typical dieting mindset, which is surrounded around things like willpower, okay, and dieting strategies, which might be surrounded around um, cutting calories down, low carb, um, paleo, intermittent fasting, okay, then there's only a 4% chance of long-term success. So why do we do it? And often we do it over and over again, jumping from one thing to the next. Okay, have a little bit of a think about that. Especially when there's another way, and I'm going to introduce you to that in my next video. Okay, so yeah, tune in for the next video, and where I'll be telling you all about our FBF 365 program. Bye bye.